Very good afternoon. You're watching News 9 with me, Akshita. Well, the KPSC aspirants have decided not to budge until the government revokes its decision over the KPSC re-exam. While several protesters have taken in and have been rushed to hospital, politicians came to Freedom Park to pacify the lot. Minister for Social Welfare stated that it's the aspirants' right to protest for their cause. He's also stated that he's spoken to the Chief Minister about the same. But on the other side, Dinesh Gundarao acted tough. He asked the students to study and prepare for the exams rather than protest, as the government will not revoke its decision. Even Union Minister Anand Kumar was seen at Freedom Park, and this is what he had to say.
ನೋಡಿ, ಕೆಪಿಎಸ್ಸಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ತಪ್ಪಿತಸ್ಥರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಠಿಣವಾದಂತಹ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು. ಆದರೆ ಯಾರು ಅವತ್ತು ಅಭ್ಯರ್ಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಉತ್ತೀರ್ಣರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಗಬಾರದು. ಇದು ಈಗ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಗಡಿ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮೂಗನ್ನ ಕೊಯ್ಯುವಂತ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನು ಕೈಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನೆಗಡಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಅಕ್ರಮ ಅವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಏನೋ ಅವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತನಿಖೆ ಆಗಲಿ, ತಪ್ಪಿತಸ್ಥರಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗಲಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಆ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 2011ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಅವರ ಭವಿಷ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಗಬಾರದು.
Well, security has also been tightened at Freedom Park, where 362 KAS probationers are on strike. There are reportedly 200 police personnel, besides one water cannon which is on standby. Last night, 5 of the probationers were moved to the KC General Hospital after they became ill. And well, Manikanta, the plumber turned robot inventor, has begun operations to extricate the body of 6-year-old Thimmanna. The operations come after the parents and villagers agreed to call off the rescue efforts yesterday. The decision to retrieve the body came after the state's Advocate General suggested the same. The body would have to be sent for post-mortem as it is a case of unnatural death. A foul smell emanating from the disused borewell has pretty much confirmed that the child is no longer alive. But the district in charge minister S.R. Patil has confirmed that the digging has been completely stopped. There's no question of continuing the digging, but they will be trying to pull out the little boy from the mouth of the borewell itself using advanced technology. In all likelihood, we could see the usage of air compression to pull out the 6-year-old's body. As of now, of course, there is a foul smell emanating. There's also a lot of mud on top of Thimmanna's body, so they will have to ensure that they can pull that all out using air compression. If that doesn't work, S.R. Patil has also stated it's just one among the list of many instruments that they plan to use to try and pull out the little boy without, of course, continuing the excavation. And well, only yesterday we saw S.R. Patil stating that the excavations will completely stop. But even then, he'd left it completely open-ended. He stated that if there is any way of going ahead and finding the boy's body, they will go ahead and do it. Only the excavation will come to an end. And as such, that will not continue is what is being said. He's also stated, of course, that already they've begun starting to fill up that particular space. The dug-up portions are being filled up now to ensure that the family is not affected, and of course the farmers in the nearby areas too are not affected. And of course, we also spoke to Mr. S.R. Patil. He went on to tell us quite simply that it could take a couple of days. They still do not know what will work and what won't. The air compression will be used from today is what we understand. This is based on the advice of the Advocate General. In fact, yesterday they sought his opinion. He's made it very clear that they cannot take it for granted that the boy is dead. They need to go ahead and do a post-mortem. They need a DNA identification to ensure that the matter can be closed closed up, because keep in mind it could in fact go ahead and lead to problems for the government in future, where several people could in fact file lawsuits saying that there was absolutely no proof the little boy fell into the borewell. Considering it was accidental death, they will need a post-mortem report to close up the case, which is why the Advocate General has suggested that they go ahead and get out little Timanna's body no matter what. Well, it's been over 8 days. They've used different techniques to try and pull out the little boy. Nothing has worked. But now, of course, they are stating that they will not be using the robotic arm. They will not be using anything that they have been using in the past many days. But now they will be trying air compression. Manikantan is very much present there. He too will be helping in going ahead and trying to find out exactly how they can pull out the little boy's body. And what we do understand, of course, is that they will be trying to use different methods. When we spoke to S.R. Patil, he did tell us that air compression is not the only way. If that doesn't work, they do have a number of options at hand. Remember, they got a lot of help as of now. They've got Manikantan present there. They've got rescue officials from Maharashtra, as well as here in Karnataka, the firefighters present there. All of them trying to put in their brains together and trying to go ahead and brainstorm and find an idea as to how they can pull out the little boy. At this point, it's desperate attempts. Now it's of course futile, considering that the boy has not survived, but they will have to get out that body to ensure that they can confirm it is little Timanna. Otherwise, they will be in a spot of bother, keeping in mind the fact that there will be a lot of questions on how they knew it was Timanna who had fallen in. There was absolutely no proof. They've got no pictures of the little boy in there, so all that could in fact affect them in the near future. And that's why the Advocate General has stated that even if little Timanna is no more, let's not make the borewell his resting place. Let's pull him out, give him a proper post-mortem report, and then go ahead and bury him in a dignified manner. Well, we understand that the rescue operations will start anytime now. From today, it will go on for the next few days so that they can go ahead and pull out the little boy as soon as possible. Meanwhile, they are going to start filling up that area as well to ensure that the farmers are no longer affected by these rescue operations. We will go ahead and see them dumping mud and trying to fill it up with what they promised. Remember, they promised that they will put the finest mud possible to ensure that the fields are not affected. And earlier in the day, we spoke to the District in Charge Minister S.R. Patil. Here's what he had to tell us.
Madam, yesterday we stopped excavating the soil and going through the tunnel to the nearer the body of Timanna.
Okay.
But today, so many options were kept open yesterday. But because the owner of the land had objected, and because his soil will not be fit for cultivation, so a huge tank has been created in his land. He requested the district authority to fill that tank and make the land leveled one. And expert, soil mechanics expert Dr. Srinivas Murthy, retired professor of Indian Institute of Science, he also advised not to take up this process. And this rescue operation is a little bit dangerous and it is humanly impossible to complete it, he advised. And yesterday we had convened a meeting of all political parties and also all the heads of the different organizations. All political party heads and the different organization office bearers requested the district authority to stop the rescue operation by way of excavating the soil and making tunnel at the depth of 160 feet. Everybody requested, and we resolved unanimous resolution that we are going to stop this process. But other options are kept open. Anyhow, body is required for post-mortem. So with different techniques, we are trying to take out the body from the failed borewell, which is at the depth of 150 or more. Manikantan, he has tried his best. And one more, Mr. Hiremat, Basuraj Hiremat, he also tried his level best. But now we are adopting a different method by air compressor, by putting air into the borewell. We are trying to take out the body because that body is required for post-mortem. At least one bone is required to have a DNA examination. For that reason, what our Advocate General advised, anyhow you try to get out of the body and make a post-mortem, then with dignity that body is to be buried or burnt as per the religious aspect of that community. Now, air compression means rig machine. It will put an air inside the borewell and that air will try to come out. While the air will try to come out, then body will be pulled up and body will be taken out. By evening it may be completed.
Right.
It is quite possible, madam. We have discussed with an Advocate General just now. What Advocate General is advising us, body should be taken out. What our Advocate General is telling, you don't leave the body in the borewell. Anyhow, it should be taken out because it is required for post-mortem. And law will, there is a mandatory to undergo the post-mortem after death.